How could you do this to us? Look at what you've done.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't mean for it to happen.
Please stop fighting, both of you.
The rain hammered the roof like fists of judgment as Alex slammed the front door behind him, his backpack thudding against the wet porch boards. 18 candles still flickered mockingly in his mind from the cake his mother had baked that morning, their flames snuffed out by the venomous words his father spat. "You're not our son anymore." In that instant, the world he knew shattered, leaving him soaked and alone under the stormy skies of Maplewood, New Jersey, wondering if survival was just another lie adults told. Alex stumbled down the driveway, the chill seeping through his thin jacket, each step splashing up memories he couldn't outrun. The house, that sprawling two-story colonial with its white picket fence and blooming azaleas, had been his entire universe. Born and raised in its creaky halls, he dreamed of college applications on the kitchen table, first kisses under the oak tree out back, and someday, a life where love didn't come with conditions. But tonight, on the eve of his adulthood, his parents had unearthed his secret, a hidden journal entry about a boy from school, a stolen glance that bloomed into something deeper. "Faggot," his father had growled, the word a blade twisting in Alex's gut. His mother's silence had cut deeper, her eyes averted as if he were a stain she couldn't scrub away. He collapsed against the neighbor's mailbox, breath ragged, phone clutched in numb fingers. No one to call, friends were scattered for summer break. And the one person who'd made his heart race, Jordan, was worlds away in New York City, oblivious to the chaos. Jordan Tall, with that easy grin and ink-stained fingers from his graphic design sketches. The boy who'd slipped Alex a mixtape last spring, whispering, "This one's for the nights when the world's too loud." They'd shared tentative touches in the school art room, promises of more when life allowed. But now, Alex's thumbs hovered over the screen, typing and deleting a plea for rescue. Pride, or was it fear, held him back. He couldn't drag Jordan into this mess, not when he was barely holding himself together. The downpour eased to a drizzle as Alex trudged toward the bus stop. 2 miles away, his sneakers squelching in puddles that mirrored the flood in his chest. Headlights pierced the gloom. A sleek black sedan pulled up, its window rolling down to reveal Mrs. Hargrove, the elderly widow next door, her silver hair pinned in a neat bun. "Alexander, dear God, child, get in before you catch your death." Her voice was a lifeline, warm against the cold bite of rejection. He hesitated, shame burning his cheeks, but slid into the passenger seat, dripping gratitude and unspoken sobs. Mrs. Hargrove didn't pry as she drove, just hummed an old Sinatra tune, her arthritic hands steady on the wheel. They ended up at her cozy bungalow, a stone's throw from the home that had just cast him out. Inside, the air smelled of chamomile tea and lavender sachets, a stark contrast to the sterile tension of his own house. She wrapped him in a quilt that smelled faintly of pipe tobacco, her late husband's, she'd say, and pressed a mug into his palms. "Now, talk if you want, or don't. But know this, walls have ears, and hearts have secrets. Your grandmother always said you were the keeper of hers." Alex's throat tightened at the mention of Nana Elena, the fiery Italian immigrant who'd raised his mother single-handedly after fleeing post-war Europe. She'd passed 2 years ago. Her estate settled quietly, leaving Alex a modest trust fund he'd never touched. But as Mrs. Hargrove's words sank in, a fragment of memory surfaced, Nana's lawyer, droning about the family property in her will. Something about the house on Elm Street being deeded to my beloved grandson. To protect what's ours. He'd been 15, zoning out amid teenage angst, assuming it was just another adult formality. By midnight, exhaustion claimed him on the guest room cot, but sleep brought no peace, only dreams of Jordan's laugh echoing through empty rooms. Morning light filtered through lace curtains, carrying the scent of frying eggs. Mrs. Hargrove bustled in the kitchen, her apron dusted with flour. Eat, then we'll sort this. You're not homeless, Alex. You're just displaced. Over breakfast, she pulled out her phone, dialing the lawyer's office with brisk efficiency. Mr. Patel, it's Margaret Hargrove. Yes, about Elena Rossi's final arrangements. The boy needs to know now. The call connected Alex to a whirlwind. Mr. Patel, voice crackling with urgency, confirmed it, the house. Mortgage-free since Nana's savvy investments in the 80s, had been retitled in Alex's name upon her death. A safety net for the queer little dreamer, as she'd teasingly called him in private, sensing his truth long before he did. Your parents were trustees until you turned 18, Patel explained. Today, it's yours, legally. Eviction? They'd be the ones trespassing. Stunned, Alex stared at the documents emailed over, deed stamped with his name, dated 2 years prior. A surge of power mingled with grief. This wasn't vengeance, but justice wrapped in Nana's unyielding love. He thanked Mrs. Hargrove, borrowing her car keys with a promise to return soon. The drive back to Elm Street felt like reclaiming stolen breath. Parked across the street, he watched his parents' cars in the driveway, normalcy mocking his upheaval. Heart pounding, he crossed the lawn, key still in his pocket, his key now. The door opened before he knocked. His mother stood there, eyes red-rimmed, flour on her blouse from unfinished pancakes. Alex? Oh, God. She reached for him, but his father loomed behind. Jaw set. We said our piece. Go. Alex's voice, steadier than he felt, cut through. This isn't your house anymore. Dad. It's mine. He held up his phone, the deed glowing like a shield. Silence stretched, thick as the rain from last night. His father's face drained of color. What the hell does that mean, Mr. Patel arrived within the hour, briefcase in hand, flanked by a notary for good measure. The living room, once a battlefield of accusations, became a courtroom of revelations. Elena Rossi amended her will to ensure her legacy stayed with family blood she trusted. Patel read from the crisp papers. The property at 142 Elm transfers fully to Alexander James Harlan on his 18th birthday. Your stewardship ends today. Alex's mother gasped, hand to mouth, while his father sputtered. This is insane. She was senile, but the documents were ironclad, witnessed and notarized. In a tense standoff, Alex's phone buzzed, a text from Jordan. Heard you're ghosting. Everything okay? Miss your face. The words cracked something open in him, a reminder that pain didn't define him. I need to go, he said quietly, pocketing the keys. But this isn't goodbye. It's a pause. His mother followed him to the door, whispering, We were scared. Alex. For you. For us. He nodded, tears blurring her face. Fear isn't love, Mom. but maybe we can learn. The afternoon sun broke through clouds as Alex loaded his backpack into Mrs. Hargrove's car. The house, his house, standing sentinel behind him. Freedom tasted bittersweet, laced with loss, but laced too with possibility. He drove toward the city, heart racing toward Jordan's apartment in Brooklyn. The mixtape from spring, now a roadmap home. The skyline rose like a promise, jagged and alive, whispering that rebirth often started with a single, defiant step. As dusk painted the highways gold, Alex's mind wandered to Nana's stories of old-world resilience, of loving fiercely despite the odds. He'd call his parents tomorrow, not with ultimatums, but with an open palm, space for healing, if they chose it. For now, the road unspooled toward a boy with ink-stained hands and a grin that lit hidden corners of his soul. Love, Nana would say, was the truest inheritance. And Alex, at 18, was finally ready to claim it. But the story didn't end with that drive. Jordan's door swung open to a hug that erased miles. His voice a balm, whatever it is. We've got this. They talked through the night. Jordan's sketches forgotten on the floor, as Alex spilled the wreckage. Dawn found them tangled in sheets, tentative kisses evolving into something raw and real. You're staying, Jordan murmured, fingers tracing Alex's jaw. As long as you'll have me, Alex replied, the weight lifting like fog. Weeks blurred into a fragile new normal. Alex enrolled in community college, graphic design classes echoing Jordan's passion. Their shared sketches a canvas for dreams. The house on Elm loomed in emails from his mother, tentative apologies, invitations to visit. He went once, the air thick with unsaid words, his father gruffly offering coffee. We were wrong, he admitted over the rim of his mug. Didn't know how to handle it. Alex forgave, not in a rush of tears, but in quiet nods, the first threads of mending. Yet dramas simmered beneath the surface. Whispers in Maplewood spread, the Harlan boy, the house scandal, the lifestyle choice, a neighbor's son, emboldened by Alex's courage, confided his own secret over coffee, sparking a ripple of hidden truths. Jordan's family, warm and boisterous in their Queens brownstone, welcomed Alex with homemade lasagna and stories of their own queer kin. Family's what you build, Jordan's dad said, clapping his shoulder. Not always blood, summer deepened, and with it, a storm neither anticipated. Alex's father suffered a heart scare, stress. The doctor said, from life changes, in the hospital room, monitors beeping like accusations. His father gripped Alex's hand. Don't let me die without fixing this. Tears came then, hot and unfiltered, as Alex whispered, You're not dying, Dad. And we're already fixing. Discharge brought fragile truces, family dinners where Jordan joined, his easy charm thawing ice. But tension peaked when a local pastor, firebrand of the town's conservative underbelly, rallied against moral decay, citing the Harlan travesty from the pulpit. Protests brewed outside City Hall, signs waving like scythes. Alex, bolstered by Jordan's fierce advocacy, spoke at a counter-rally, voice steady, words weaving personal pain into calls for empathy. Kicking out your child doesn't make you righteous, he said. Crowd hushed. It makes you alone. Applause thundered. But threats followed, voicemails laced with hate. Shadows on the street. Jordan pulled him close that night. Their love a fortress. We're in this. All the way. Intimacy bloomed. Not just physical, but soul-deep, late-night confessions. Shared vulnerabilities turning scars to stars. Alex's art flourished. Pieces of fractured homes sold at campus shows. Proceeds to youth shelters. His parents attended one. His mother's arm linked with his father's. Pride flickering in their eyes. Fall leaves turned Elm Street crimson as reconciliation deepened. Thanksgiving at the house, now truly Alex's, saw Jordan carving turkey, laughter echoing where accusations once reigned. His father raised a glass to second chances. Alex's mother pulled him aside, pressing Nana's old locket into his palm. She knew you'd need this more than walls. Inside, a tiny photo, Alex as a toddler, grinning with rainbows in his eyes. Yet the climax brewed in winter's chill. A blizzard trapped them all. Alex, Jordan, parents in the house, power flickering like old wounds. Candles cast shadows as stories spilled, his father's hidden regrets from his own closeted youth. A college fling buried under societal chains, his mother's guilt over silence born of fear. I thought protecting you meant shielding from pain, she confessed. Jordan shared his journey too, the rejection that forges fire. By morning, snow blanketed regrets, unity forged in vulnerability. Spring brought renewal. Alex proposed a family trust for the house. Shared stewardship symbolizing bridge divides. Jordan and he moved into the attic apartment, turning it into a studio alive with color. Their love, once a spark in secrecy, now burned public, hand in hand at pride parades, rings glinting on fingers after a courthouse vow. You saved me, Jordan whispered on their first anniversary, under the oak tree. No, Alex replied. We saved each other. Years folded like pages, careers bloomed. Alex illustrating children's books on diverse families. Jordan designing campaigns for equality. Grandkids came. Adopted rainbows in a home rebuilt on love's terms. His parents aged gracefully, volunteering at shelters. Their apologies etched in actions. Nana's legacy endured, not in deeds, but in hearts mended. In quiet moments, Alex traced the locket, grateful for the storm that birthed his strength. Love, he learned, was an absence of pain, but persistence through it, gay, straight, family, chosen. It conquered, not with fanfare, but with open doors. Jordan's laughter filled the attic studio as he flicked paint at Alex's cheek, a streak of cerulean mirroring the summer sky beyond the slanted window. You're incorrigible, Alex grinned, retaliating with a brush loaded in crimson. Their canvas a riot of abstract swirls, emotions poured out in hues of survival and joy. 2 years since that birthday exile, and the house on Elm pulsed with life again, its walls absorbing echoes of forgiveness rather than fury. Downstairs, the clatter of pots signaled his mother's weekly baking ritual, her way of stitching normalcy back into the fabric of their days. Alex wiped his hands on a rag, glancing at the framed deed on the wall, a talisman of triumph. College had been a revelation, late nights in the art lab. Jordan's visits turning study sessions into stolen intimacies, their bodies learning each other like favorite songs. But beneath the bliss, shadows lingered. Whispers from high school reunions painted him as the troubled kid who won the lottery, envy twisting into barbs. And his father, stoic Tom Harlan, retired mechanic with grease-etched palms, struggled most with the thaw. Gruff compliments masked unease, eyes darting when Jordan's hand brushed Alex's. Tonight marked a milestone, Tom's 65th birthday. A backyard barbecue under string lights. The oak tree strung with lanterns like fireflies. Alex had planned it meticulously, enlisting Jordan's flair for details, tables laden with Nana's marinara recipe. A playlist of Sinatra and Springsteen blending old wounds with new hopes. As guests arrived, Mrs. Hargrove with her famous lemon bars. Neighbors who'd once gossiped, now toasting tentatively. The air hummed with cautious optimism. Tom emerged from the garage, wiping sweat from his brow. His flannel shirt rolled to elbows, revealing faded tattoos from Navy days. "Looks good, son," he grunted, clapping Alex's shoulder a beat too hard. But when Jordan approached with a wrapped gift, a custom tool set etched with "For the man who builds bridges," Tom's jaw tightened. "Appreciate it, kid," he said, voice flat, excusing himself to flip burgers. Alex caught Jordan's eye, a silent exchange of patience forged in fire. The evening unfolded in fits of warmth. His mother, Laura, sharing anecdotes of Alex's childhood mischief. Her laughter freer now, lines around her eyes softened by therapy sessions they'd all endured. "Remember when you painted the dog blue?" she teased. And the crowd chuckled, even Tom cracking a smile. But as dusk deepened, a shadow crossed the yard, Pastor Ellis, uninvited, Bible in hand, his sermonizing voice cutting through the merriment like a dull knife. "Tom, Laura, a word. This display. It's not too late to reclaim your home from sin's grasp." The party froze, forks hovering midair. Tom's face reddened, fists clenching at his sides. Alex stepped forward, heart thundering. "Pastor, this is a family gathering. Faith's personal. Ours includes love. All of it." Ellis's eyes narrowed, quoting verses like weapons. But Jordan interjected smoothly. "Sir, ever consider Matthew 7? Judge not, lest ye be judged." The pastor sputtered, retreating with a mutter of "Pray for you all," leaving a chill in his wake. Tom pulled Alex aside by the shed, voice low. "That man's been my friend 30 years. Says I'm damning my soul." Alex searched his father's face, seeing not anger, but a man adrift. "Dad, souls aren't damned by love. They're saved by it. Remember your heart's scare? That was the wake-up." Tom exhaled, rubbing his chest as if feeling the scar. "I do. And I see you too, happy. Makes an old fool think maybe God's bigger than I figured." It wasn't absolution, but a crack in the armor, wide enough for light. As stars pricked the sky, the party reignited, dancing on the grass, stories swapping like cards. Jordan pulled Alex close during a slow song, whispering, "Your dad's thawing. Like ice in April." Alex leaned in, their foreheads touching. "Takes time. But we've got forever." Later, under the oak, Tom joined them, beer in hand. "Jordan, teach me that grilling trick you did earlier." It was small, but seismic, a bridge extending, plonk by plonk. Morning brought hangovers and heart-to-hearts. Laura confessed over coffee. "I envied your courage." Alex, hiding my own doubts for so long. Tom nodded, admitting youthful crushes buried under machismo. "Thought it made me weak. Seeing you fight showed strength." The words wove them tighter, threads of vulnerability binding what rejection had frayed. But life, ever the dramatist, scripted a twist. A letter arrived midweek from Elena's long-lost cousin in Italy, claiming a disputed clause in the will, demanding the house's sale for family equity. Panic flared. Lawyers conferred. Documents poured over in the dining room, turned war room. "It's bluff, mister," Patel assured. But doubt not. Jordan rallied, sketching mood boards for a potential new start, our adventure, wherever. Yet Alex clung to Elm Street, its roots in his blood. The cousin arrived unannounced. A wiry man named Marco with a mustache like a broom and eyes sharp as euros. Elena promised us a share. He blustered over espresso, gesturing wildly. Tom, surprisingly, took charge. This ain't about money. It's home. Hours of negotiation stretched. Marco's greed cracking under tales of Nana's sacrifices, her voyage across oceans, building this haven from nothing. She left it to Alex for a reason, Laura said softly. Love over legacy. Marco relented, signing a waiver for a token sum, muttering about crazy Americans as he left. Relief washed like rain, but it unearthed deeper currents. That night, Alex found Tom in the garage, polishing tools with ritual care. Dad, Tom looked up, vulnerability raw. I was like you once, scared of who I felt for. Buried it, built walls. Don't want that for you. The confession hung, a gift unwrapped. Alex hugged him, fierce and forgiving. We break walls together now. Summer waned into harvest. The house a hub of healing. Jordan and Alex hosted art workshops for local LGBTQ youth, brushes dipping into palettes of possibility. One boy, 16 and trembling, shared his closet fears. Alex knelt. Eye level, it gets brighter. Promise, echoes of his own birthday storm, transmuted to light. As leaves fell, Jordan proposed under the oak, ring simple, silver with engraved coordinates of their first kiss. Marry me. In this chaos we call home, tears mingled with yes. Family gathering for toasts that tasted of triumph. The wedding, small and sun-dappled in the backyard, sealed vows with laughter and rainbows arched post-shower. Years spun forward, careers soared. Alex's books on shelves whispering acceptance to hidden hearts. Jordan's designs adorning billboards of pride. Children enter their lives, 2 boys adopted, their giggles filling halls once silent with strife. Tom doted, teaching them wrench turns and wisdom's hard won. Laura baked endless pies, her love a constant crust. In twilight years, as snow frosted elm once more, Alex sat with his parents on the porch, Jordan's hand in his, grandkids tumbling in drifts. Best decision I never made, Tom chuckled, meaning the kick-out that birthed this bounty. Alex smiled, locket warm against his chest. Love's the deed that lasts. The grandkids' shrieks pierced the winter hush as they pelted snowballs, their rosy cheeks a canvas of unscarred joy. Alex watched from the porch swing, Jordan's arm a steady anchor around his waist, the creak of wood sinking with their shared breaths. 10 years since the wedding, and Elm Street had evolved into a sanctuary not just for them, but for strays of the heart, a converted garage now a drop-in center for queer youth. Its sign reading Harlan Haven, where roots grow free. His parents, silver-haired sentinels, bundled in scarves, refereed the fray with mock sternness. Tom's laughter booming where growls once lurked. Life's tapestry, though woven with gold, bore threads of tension. A news crew had descended last spring, spotlighting the miracle of Maplewood. Alex's rally speech gone viral, sparking national dialogues on family rejection. Accolades poured in, TED Talk invites, book deals expanding his illustrations into memoirs of resilience. But fame's glare unearthed old foes. Pastor Ellis, unbowed, penned op-eds branding Alex a deceiver profiting from perversion, his flock picketing the haven with bullhorns of brimstone. Jordan fielded the brunt, his designs now fueling counter-campaigns, billboards of diverse families under slogans like "Love is the only tradition that matters." "They're scared of what we represent," he'd say, sketching late into nights. Alex massaging knots from his shoulders. Intimacy remained their refuge. Slow dances in the kitchen to mixtapes evolved. Bodies familiar yet electric. Whispers tracing futures amid the scent of turpentine and toast. One crisp autumn eve, crisis knocked anew. A call from the hospital. Laura, felled by a stroke mid-grocery run. Her shopping cart overturned like a fallen soldier. The drive blurred. Alex's knuckles white on the wheel. Jordan's hand a lifeline. In the sterile room, tubes snaking like accusations. She gripped his fingers weakly. "Proud of you," she rasped, eyes fierce. Tom paced, face ashen. The man who'd once armored himself, now cracking wide. Recovery was grueling. Therapy sessions in the living room. Laura relearning words with flashcards Alex illustrated whimsically, turning love into a rainbow heart. Jordan cooked healing broths, his patience a quiet symphony. But beneath, Tom's guilt festered. "If I'd been softer sooner." Alex shut that down. "Fierce, Dad. She's here because of us, all of us fighting for this." Nights, they'd sit vigil, stories spilling, Laura recounting her own teen rebellion, a crush on a girl dismissed as phase, buried under wedding vows. The stroke rippled outward, drawing the community closer. Mrs. Hargrove, now frail but feisty, organized meal trains, the pastor's estranged daughter, out and unapologetic, volunteered at the Haven, her presence a poetic justice. Ellis himself appeared one gray afternoon, hat in hands, voice stripped of thunder. "Lost my way. Tom. Seeing your family. Humble me. No grand redemption. Just a nod. A shared coffee. Small steps on uneven ground." Spring bloomed with Laura's first unassisted steps across the yard. Cheers erupting like fireworks. To celebrate, Alex planned a surprise. A trip to New York, Broadway tickets for a musical on Forbidden Loves. Nana's spirit in every note. On the train, windows framing the Hudson's gleam. Tom confessed more. After the Navy, "I loved a sailor. Wrote letters, then burned them. Thought it'd make me whole." Alex's heart ached with echoed pain. "You are whole, Dad. We all are, cracks and all. Back home." Inspiration struck. Alex's next book, Shadows to Stars, wove their collective tales. Father's hidden letters illustrated in sepia tones. Mother's silenced dreams in vibrant blooms. Launches sold out. Readers weeping in aisles. Messages flooding. "Your story saved my kid." Jordan beamed at signings, their rings catching light like beacons. But drama crested in summer swelter. A Haven regular. Teenage Micah, echo of young Alex. With haunted eyes and a backpack of secrets, went missing after a blowout with his folks. posters plastered town, searches combing woods and bus stations. Sleepless nights gripped the house. Alex coordinating with police. Jordan mapping routes on whiteboards. "He's out there." "Scared," Alex whispered. Jordan holding him through tremors. "Like you were." "We'll find him." Dawn of day 4 broke with a call. Micah, safe in a Philly shelter. His voice cracking over speakerphone. "Saw your book online. Knew I wasn't alone." Reunion at the train station was raw, hug fierce. Tears salt on cheeks. Micah's parents followed. Contrite, echoing the Harlan's path. "We didn't know how to love right." Group therapy bloomed from there. Circles in the garage where truths aired like laundry. Fall's harvest brought Micah's family to Thanksgiving. Tables groaning under Unity's weight. Tom carved with steady hands. Toasting. To found and forgiven. Laughter flowed. Grandkids piping up with drawings of superheroes who love everyone. Jordan caught Alex's eye across the chaos. Mouthing "I do" still. After all. Winter whispered changes. Laura. Walker discarded. Gardened azaleas with renewed vigor. Her plot's a metaphor for regrowth. Tom tinkered with the boys, building birdhouses that dotted the yard like sentinels. Alex and Jordan, empty nesters in spirit, traveled, Italy tracing Nana's roots. Marco now a jovial uncle, sending limoncello and letters of amends. Anniversaries layered like sedimentary rock. 15 years marked by vow renewals under the oak. Guessed a tapestry of lives touched. Alex's hair silvered at temples. Jordan's grin undimmed. Their love a river carving canyons of comfort. Books multiplied. Haven expanded to satellite spots. Ellis even donating anonymously. Redemption's quiet arc. In quiet eves, porch swings creaking. Alex reflected. That birthday door slam had unlocked not just a house, but a heritage of heart. We turned eviction into embrace, he'd say, Jordan's head on his shoulder. Grandkids clambered, demanding stories of the brave boy and his magic key. And so they'd spin yarns, truths veiled in whimsy, passing the flame. Legacy lived not in stone, but souls, gay love's quiet revolution, rippling from one stormy night to eternities of yes. Sunlight slanted through the studio skylight, gilding the easel where Alex layered final strokes on a mural for the Haven's expansion, a cascade of hands interlocking across generations. Hues from Crimson Rage to Azure Peace. 20 years post-birthday, and the house thrummed with purpose downstairs. Laughter from a youth workshop mingled with the sizzle of Jordan's experimental stir-fry. Sense of ginger and garlic a siren call. Their boys, now teens, Eli with his father's curls and a sketchpad perpetual. Luca with Jordan's intensity and a soccer ball underarm, bickered amiably over dinner prep. The kitchen a cauldron of controlled chaos. Age had etched grace into their features. Alex's laugh lines deepened like beloved rivers. Jordan's once ink-stained hands now bearing wedding band groove polished by time. Marriages mended further, Tom and Laura wintering in Florida now. But video calls constant. Their condo walls lined with grandkid photos and Alex's books. Missed the snow fights, Tom would grumble, Laura rolling eyes fondly. Yet beneath idols, undercurrents stirred. National winds shifted. A new administration's policies chilled queer rights. Funding cuts slashing Haven budgets like careless blades. Alex rallied. Pen to paper, op-eds in major papers. His voice amplified by years of witness. We've built bridges, don't burn them, he wrote. Words igniting petitions that surged online. Jordan designed the graphics. Viral waves of color crashing against backlash. But trolls unearthed old wounds, doctored images of that rainy porch night. Captions sneering spoiled brats, sob story. Eli, scrolling late. Confronted, Dad. They're saying you faked it for sympathy. Alex's heart clenched, protecting innocence, now his fiercest battle. Jordan mediated. Family meeting under the oak, leaves whispering conspiracies. Truth's our armor, he said, pulling Eli into a side hug. Your pops turned pain into power. Luca, quieter, admitted his own fears, a crush on a teammate. Locker room jabs stinging. The talk flowed. Vulnerabilities bared like offerings. Alex sharing his journal's raw edges. Jordan his early rejections. Love's not a phase, Alex affirmed. It's your superpower. Hugs lingered. Bonds reforged in firelight honesty. Crisis escalated when a Haven kid, trans-teen Aria, faced deportation threats, undocumented. Her family fled violence south of the border. Protests brewed in Maplewood. Alex at the fore, megaphone in hand. Sanctuary isn't a word, it's a promise. Arrests loomed. But Jordan's networks mobilized. Lawyers. Allies. A GoFundMe exploding with support. Aria stayed. Papers in process. Her art. Fierce portraits of survival adorning the walls. The ordeal unearthed family fault lines. Tom, visiting for Eli's birthday, bristled at news coverage, stirring pots again. Son, old reflexes, softened but stubborn. Dinner tensed, fork scraping plates. Laura intervened. Thomas, we've learned silence aids the storm. Tom deflated, admitting, just worry they'll take you from us again. Alex reached across. They can't. We're unbreakable. Midnight garage talks followed. Tom oiling hinges on birdhouses. Metaphors unspoken. Fixed what was loose. Like us, summer solstice brought a beacon. The boys' first pride float. Designed by Jordan. Towed by the family truck. Tom at the wheel. Grinning through rainbow streamers. Crowds cheered. Eli waving a flag with Luca's hand in his. Alex and Jordan arm in arm. Tears salting cheers. Aria performed spoken word on stage. Voice a thunderclap from shadows. We rise. Ellis, gray and gaunt in the audience, nodded solemnly. His church now a reconciliation hub. Irony's full circle. Fall's palette turned introspective. Alex's memoir sequel. Echoes of Elm delved deeper. Jordan's chapters on chosen kin. The boys' vignettes of growing queer in acceptance. Launch night overflowed the local bookstore. Readers queuing for signatures. Stories shared in hushed tones. Your words got me through coming out. A fan, elderly and tremulous, pressed a faded photo into Alex's palm. Two sailors embracing. Circa 1950. Your dad's story? Mine too. Thank you. Winter-wrapped gifts unbidden. Laura's diagnosis. Early stage, but insistent. A shadow over holidays. The house filled with her. Treatments in the guest room. Laughter defiant amid chemo fog. Jordan mastered nutrient shakes. Eli sketched comics to amuse. Luca organized game nights. Tom, ever the fixer, built adaptive ramps with unnecessary flourishes. For style, he'd wink. Alex read to her from his books, voice steady, and they lived fiercely ever after. Remission came tentative. Spring's thaw mirroring hope. Celebrations spilled into the yard, barbecue redux. Ellis toasting awkwardly, to grace unearned. Bonds deepened. Unexpected kinships blooming. The boys dated openly, Eli with a poet, Luca with a drummer. Their courtships a symphony Alex cherished, advising with wisdom hard-won. Anniversaries accrued like treasures, 25 years. A cruise where seas mirrored their depths. Vows renewed under stars. Eli's wedding followed. A garden affair blending traditions, Jordan walking him down the aisle. Tom's toast slurring with emotion. Love like your dad's, it's the real deal. Grandbabies toddled soon after. Tiny feet pattering halls. Nana's locket passed to chubby fists. Legacy layered. Haven franchised nationwide. Alex keynoting at UN panels. Jordan's firm equity-focused. Micah, now a counselor, mentored Aria's siblings. Tom passed gently. Workshop tools donated to the center, Laura followed. Garden thriving under volunteer hands. Their funerals swelled with multitudes, lives touched, ripples eternal. In golden years, Alex and Jordan, hands veined with time, strolled the oak shade. That door slam, Alex mused. Best plot twist, Jordan chuckled. Kiss soft, ours, rewritten in love. Grandbabies clamored for tales. Circle complete, from expulsion to embrace. A life's art bending toward light. Dappled shade from the oak danced across the weathered bench where Alex and Jordan sat. Thermos of coffee steaming between them like a shared heartbeat. 30 years since the deluge of that 18th birthday. And the yard bore witness. Flowerbeds Laura had coaxed, now wild with perennials. Birdhouses Tom's legacy swaying in breeze. Laughter of great-grandkids echoing from the Haven's playscape. Age had silvered them fully. Alex's hair a crown of frost. Jordan's posture still lithe. Eyes crinkling with the same mischief that first ensnared him. Their love, a vintage wine, deepened with decants of memory. Sips of serenity. The world had shifted tectonic, marriage equality nationwide. Havens like there's beacons in every state. Alex's books, curricula staples, fostering empathy in classrooms. Yet progress's price lingered, backlash flares. Rights rolled back in pockets of resistance. Eli and Luca, fathers now, advocated fiercely. Eli's graphic novels amplifying trans voices. Luca coaching inclusive teams. Visits brimmed with pride. Debates over dinner on sustaining the fight. We pave the road, Jordan would say. You drive it forward. A letter arrived that autumn, sealed with Italian wax. Marco's daughter. Sophia, heir to olives and old grudges. Contesting a minor bequest from Elena's estate. Symbolic nonsense, Alex sighed, but stirred ghosts. Legal dust-ups ensued. Patel's successor pouring files in the dining room. Now a gallery of family portraits, young Alex rain-soaked, juxtaposed with wedding glows. Boys' births, elders' graces. Sophia visited, less brash than her father, dark eyes curious. A sketchbook underarm. Nana, Elena's fire in you, she said, touring the Haven. Over pasta, stories bridged oceans, her own queer path in Rome. Parallels drawn like threads. Resolution came amicable, a shared scholarship fund in Elena's name. Sophia contributing designs for the cause. Families fluid, she toasted. Glasses clinking. The encounter inspired Alex's final book. Threads unbroken, a tapestry of transnational loves. Illustrations blending Jersey suburbs with Tuscan hills. Launches span continents. Sophia moderating a panel in Milan. Jordan beaming via video. Our web widens. Winter's grip tightened with health's whisper. Jordan's diagnosis. A rogue cell defiant as their youth. The house hushed, then hummed with care. Infusions in the studio. Easels pushed aside for hospital beds. Scents of chamomile masking antiseptic. Alex read aloud from their mixtape lyrics. Now compiled in a leather journal. Eli and Luca tag team dad duties with their kids. Luca's boys building Lego forts around the bed. Keep creating, Jordan urged. Voice gravelly but grin intact. Remission danced elusive. But they seized days. Road trips to beaches where waves crashed like applause. Hands clasped over sandcastles. One eve, under aurora borrowed from northern skies, a rare solar storm, Jordan proposed a pact. When I'm gone, paint our story on the oak. Branches for every year. Alex choked on yes. Kiss salt tanched. Spring unfurled defiant. Jordan rallying for one last pride. Wheelchair parade float. Jordan directing from throne like perch. Signs proclaiming love's eternal sketch. Crowds parted like seas. Cheers a chorus of lives liberated. Arya, now director of the national network, crowned him with laurels, pioneer of palettes. Summer's heat wave brought the end. Gentle as dusk. In the attic, windows opened to cricket symphonies. Jordan slipped away mid-story, Alex's voice trailing into, and they loved. Beyond horizons, grief crashed then. Title and total. The house echoing with sobs that summoned family, hugs and heaps. Stories swapped through tears. The funeral, garden filled, swelled with thousands, testimonies weaving Jordan's legacy, designs that changed laws, hearts that healed divides. Mourning morphed to memorial, the oak bark etched with branches. Each note a year, inscribed with inside jokes. Mixtape Maverick, 1987. Alex tended it daily, brush in hand, adding leaves of color. Books poured solace. Readers' letters lifelines. Your loss mirrors mine, but so does your light. Eli and Luca anchored. Their families a chorus of continuity, great-grandkids tracing etchings. Asking, who was Poppy Jordan? Solace deepened in solitude's forge. Alex volunteered at the Haven, mentoring with Jordan's flair, spontaneous sketches during sessions, turning fears to art. Sophia visited often, her Rome studio collaborating on exhibits, queer kin across seas. Micah, Grain Guru, co-led groups, area's innovations expanding reach. Anniversaries alone ached sweet, 35th under the tree. Alex toasting phantom wine. To you. In every stroke, dreams brought Jordan back, grinning. Paint flecked, keep the canvas wet. Inspiration flowed, a graphic novel series. Jordan's Journeys, adventures of ink-hearted heroes navigating tempests to treasures. Decades distilled, great-grandkids' weddings in the yard. Toasts echoing originals. Alex, 90s sage, keynote retirements. Voice quavering but sure. Love kicked me out once, taught me to build my own door. Haven thrived. Global now. Ellis's old church a satellite site. Irony's immortal. In final days. Bed by the window overlooking the oak. Branches a living mural. Alex gathered kin. From that rainy porch to this, he whispered. Lock it past to Eli's eldest. Love's the name on the deed. eyes closing on sunset golds. He slipped toward Jordan's horizon. Story complete. Generations carried the flame. Etchings deepened. Books reprinted. Havens eternal. Elm Street stood,
How could you do
not
this
as
to
monument,
us? Look at what you've done.
but heartbeat.
It wasn't my
Proof
fault. I didn't
that from
mean for it to
expulsion
happen.
storm,
Please stop
empires
fighting,
of
both
empathy
of you.
bloom.